Hi, in this video, I want to talk more about businesses that are killing it during COVID-19. So there are quite a bit of businesses that are still doing really, really well, or just as good as they were before things got started. I do recognize that there are some that are in famine. I searched up an image for feast or famine. Hopefully, you appreciate the nerds out there represent. Appreciate the Magic the Gathering card, and so. But what you can do to improve your situation is continue to explore, continue to think about, continue to brainstorm on what's doing well and what's not doing well right now, and if it's going to be something that's going to last when COVID is over. I'm shooting this in mid-September 2020. Kids are going back to school. We're about to hit flu season. It seems likely that we're going to have another wave here, and that we're going to be dealing with this at least until well into 2021. And that's kind of best case scenario. It might be 2022 or even 2023 before we really have moved on and can get back to the new normal and not worry about getting sick. So there's still some significant unknowns, but if, as a business owner, presumably you're watching this, you're a business owner, or you're thinking about being a business owner. Business owners are rewarded for taking risks, but not just any risks. It's not gambling. You take intelligent risks where the odds are in your favor, and sometimes those things don't work out. There's a lot of things that I've done that have just not worked out. Maybe they were bad ideas, or maybe I needed to go through those experiences. Not everything has worked out, but I've kind of kept with my overall plan, and I think my overall plan has worked quite well as every year has gone up, and this is going to be a banner year for me as well. It's going to be my best year so far. And so, what are some of the properties or qualities that I notice for these? Because I talk to a lot of different types of businesses that are kind of well positioned right now, and typically they're well positioned for the future. So there's some forward-thinking businesses that I've talked to that are like, yeah, I mean, they were thinking these trends that they were planning for, 3, 5, 10 years down the line have come, all the way to the forefront right now. And so they're kind of reaping rewards for that. And I think that's where a lot of businesses are doing, and that are doing well. They've done something like that. Yeah, some are suffering like big time, like restaurants, live events. I know people have lost their jobs. And so I'm not saying, you're a bad person for doing well. Some of these people are in the right place at the right time, and obviously very lucky to at least some significant degree. And some people, restaurants, people got to eat. So always thought restaurants, at least some amount. But obviously, if you own a bunch of restaurants, then this is like one of the worst times ever. I don't think there's been anything like this in a long time. But we can really look at and find some opportunity. So it's about looking forward for the future. Wherever you are now, that's where you are. That's where your business is. How do you move forward from there? Even if you're a restaurant, how do you move forward and take what you've got and move forward? So, just a couple examples. And these are bigger companies. Zoom stock year to date went from $68 to $384. What's that? 384 divided by 68. It's five times, more than 5 times. Okay. Amazon, I think it's a little bit less than doubled, which is impressive for such a company that's already really, really big. And this doesn't necessarily represent, exact value here, but it represents more like that people are recognizing, hey, they're benefiting from this. And these are big companies. It's harder for them to benefit. But there's also a lot of other little businesses that I've talked to that are just like, hey, we're doing really well. And I mentioned before, in terms of profit, 2020 is going to be my best year yet. And so, I think there's a lot of examples. And so you just keep doing research on that, keep looking at that. If your business isn't doing well, or you're thinking about starting a new business, keep thinking about that. If you're in the middle of a business, then it kind of has to be a little bit more focused on, well, what are my opportunities right now? Like even if I own 20 restaurants, I can't just like move on and do an SEO business, right? I have to kind of take what I have, and maybe there's some opportunities to just make those better or less, losing money, and maybe the government can help, stuff like that. You gotta really look at the context of your business if you've got kind of a long-term business that you've been running for a while. Are people still searching the internet? That's one of the questions that I'm just gonna be asking myself every year for as long as I'm in SEO, and specifically with commercial intent. So it's one thing to just look at like, what's this celebrity's birthday, or who are they married to, and what are their pictures. That's not really commercial intent. But like, I get a lot of CBD oil companies. It's hot right now. Buy CBD oil. That's a search with commercial intent that is extremely valuable. You rank number one for that, and that's worth, I'd say, probably 7 figures a year. In terms of traffic, I'd be shocked if a company couldn't make at least that much off of ranking really well for that, and presumably a bunch of other related things. And in some cases, I've heard some people say that people are searching the internet more. I'm not sure that that's true. It might be this around the same, that the searches are just different. I suspect it's true, but really won't know until the data comes out. It's at least true that I think it hasn't gone down. Okay, so take that for what you will. I personally think, and I've said this before, that search is now almost like plumbing. It's basically like a standard thing that's so useful to society that we're going to keep. There's going to be some way to search the database of human knowledge, unless we blow ourselves up, essentially. If the computers are there, then we're going to have something like that, because it's just so useful, and there's just so many ways in which it adds value to our lives. So I don't think that's going away, and in some cases I think it's improving. And I'm talking to a lot of businesses who are looking to invest for the future, have closed some new big SEO deals just within the last 6 weeks, mid-September now. So people are still out there spending money. And again, I know some people are doing it, are having a hard time. And I can confirm people are still, using home services, because people are still, using their homes. Maybe they're using some home services more. Buying groceries, shopping online, etc. There's so many different things, and there's some things that I think, again, they're doing more of, like I'm sure DoorDash and all those companies like that deliver food or that deliver groceries. They're all, like Instacart, all that stuff. They're probably doing really well. At least if they're not doing really well, then they've really screwed the pooch. It's kind of their fault, but their market is doing really, really well. So check around for that kind of stuff, and it's going to really help you find what can make sense for you and your business. Let me know if you have any questions. If you think SEO fits for you or doesn't fit for you, or you're not sure, you can leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer it, and we'll go from there. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.